Hello and welcome back to another game of CSGO, this time between GODSENT and Pride. This is for the Fusion.bet Masters, and we will be starting off on Cache. Going into the pistol round here, we will see a fairly default split here from the counter-terrorists, as they will go 2-1-2. As for the terrorists, so they are looking to gain some mid-presence early on. Twist will have an answer for that though, as he does take down Exus with a nicely placed headshot. Bomb, however, does seem to be making its way towards B. Tom here sitting in checkers with Bomb. He is taking a rather advanced position though, and the bomb has been spotted, so that should cause a rotate in now. GODSENT slowly chewing up the terrorist assault there, and Twist to wrap it up there with 3 kills. Go Twist! Okay, going into the next round, the counter-terrorists did not lose any real money whatsoever. They only lost 1 player. The terrorists, however, Pride, did not get a plant. They only got 1 kill. However, they will be looking to force up anyway, and we are seeing a fair bit of presence being put towards A. Splork looking to set up a smoke there. The others sort of gravitating towards Squeaky, it seems, and with only 1 player immediately on A, that's Freddy B. He will have a bit of an interesting time here. Whether he has actually sort of clued into this or not is going to be another thing. With the utility coming in, he will throw down a Molotov there just to stunt the approach, and as the terrorists move in there, he will somehow survive all of that business. He is reloading though, and will get basically destroyed after that. The terrorists have actually managed to gain a sight for themselves. With the rotate coming in, Brolin has managed to get a kill into A main, but they will know that he is coming from there. It is a 2 versus 2. However, the health does favor the counter-terrorists. Gab immediately on site, does decide to poke out, will get killed for his trouble. Splork though is on a 1-on-1 against a player with a pistol. However, that said, Disco does not need much more than that, it seems, and he will secure the second round. That being a lot closer than the first round, and the unfortunate side of that is with a lot of rifles purchased, they've actually put themselves in a bit of a weaker position here going into this third round. Pride, if they have sort of been keeping track of the counter-terrorist economy, have decided to basically buy a few rifles of their own to counter this, and this is actually looking to be a bit more of an even round this time. There's a lot of presence towards mid there, as the terrorists will basically look to boost over into mid. Exus almost scoring some team damage there. We do have a boost into vent from Disco. However, he has had to fall back. He might get caught out though. Almost caught out by Luz. Freddy B has taken an advanced position in A main though, so he might be able to catch them out. At this stage though, they do seem to be better positioned for a split B approach. Splork keeping his eyes on mid. Freddy B pushing out of A main, gets 1 kill, might not get the second one though, he will not, and it seems like the call has been made to go towards the site, and well, maybe not, they're still not entirely certain where they want to go. It is a 2 versus 4, and the terrorists will be making their way towards A. Excellent grenade from Gab there, basically stops Disco from being able to hold anything off there. And with a 1 versus 4 retake situation, Brolin's just going to have to sit tight on B site and hope he can save this rifle for the next round. Terrorists themselves, though, with pretty much a fair amount of money and knowing that the counter-terrorist economy is going to be weak this next round there, might want to actually sacrifice a player or two on this hunt. And they have sent Splork and Luz out to do just that. Whether they'll actually get to Brolin in time, though, is going to be another question. They're not really looking in the right place. Seems like it's a bit of a half hunt. They don't really want to commit fully to it. If they get him, good. If not, that's guns saved and brought into the next round. Counter-terrorist economy now is rather bleak. They will have to go for a very light buy, although they should know that with some of their players kind of weak on the money side, they might as well force up a little bit here and see if they can't get anything. Disco waiting for his teammate to graciously drop him a deagle. However, that delay might prove a bit fatal here. Exus having moved close into mid. Brolin peeking out there, and it is a 4 versus 4 situation here. So they're able to get 1 kill there. 2 players spotted up towards A. Another peeks out into mid. That'll be Disco, who will get him. And Gab manages to sneak around behind, pushing through B into CT side B and getting that kill. Gab having to keep an eye on many angles here as the CTs basically envelope them here. Both Terrace players have pushed out into tree room here. Gab getting a kill onto Disco. He will not get a second kill though, and it is now down to Splork to hold off 2 counter-terrorists. The CTs aren't entirely certain where he is. He gets 1. That was an interesting glitch. He does get 1 onto Hampus, and he has spotted Freddy, who now has to worry about being able to kill Splork, and he does not have to worry about that anymore because Splork has killed him instead. And that is another round going towards Pride. Counter-terrorist economy now fully blunted. They should be looking to save at least a smidgen this round. As for the terrorists, they are laughing it up. We basically have 4 AKs and an AWP as well. This AWP perhaps looking for a quick peek onto A main. You'll not get it though. There's only really 1 aggressive counter-terrorist player, and that is Brolin here. The rest, however, are looking to move onto A site pretty quickly. Freddy getting taken out pretty quickly there. The rotate has to come in from Disco. Does get basically spammed through smoke there. And this becomes a very dangerous situation. Hampus able to get a headshot through smoke, which is rather crisp. Brolin sort of keeping an eye on highway. He does have a pistol now, but I don't think he will suspect that Luz is coming in behind him. Bomb's still not planted yet. And this is actually giving the counter-terrorists more chance to pick off T players. Luz finally coming in from mid there, able to score a kill onto Brolin. It's down to Hampus, who is stuck in the smoke there, will not be able to escape it with his life, and Splork does wrap that up. Going into the 6th round, we do actually have a buy from the counter-terrorist team, the Swedes, GODSENT. They will be able to get some rifles there, but not a complete buy. They have sacrificed the helmets because they are up against AKs and an AWP, so not necessarily the worst decision there. That will grant them more utility. We are seeing a pretty aggressive push-up here from Brolin, who will be dropping down into checkers, maybe anticipating something from either mid or checkers. Splork, though, has an inkling that something might be happening there. Will basically breach out into the B site there, take out Disco. Brolin has to keep his eyes on checkers. He does, but is not able to secure a kill there. Twist does manage to get a kill onto Exus, and that actually drops the AWP down for them. However, at this point, it is a matter of the terrorists having the B side and the counter-terrorists having to retake it. Well-timed grenade there does score a little bit of damage, but Tom will be happy to punish Hampus for it. Freddy B not expecting a peek out of tree room there. And Twist, I don't know if he can actually get to that AWP. If he can, he'll want to grab it, but at this stage, I think he's more just interested in staying alive. And unfortunately does not win the duel with Luz there. Terrorists themselves were trying to grab that AWP. They aren't able to, so Exus actually has to spend a lot of money to regain that. He is down to basically $50 after buying everything plus the AWP. Counter-terrorists are looking to eco this one again. 3 Deagles, a CZ, and nothing on Disco. With a quick approach into B main there. One has been spotted in checkers. That will be Disco. And we will see the rotate there coming in from Gab, who does manage to catch him out. Brolin in a bit of a tight position here. He does have the CZ, which could be murder in these close peaks, but not that it matters to Splork. He will take him out, and it's down to Freddy B to either stay alive or just do some damage, maybe get something here. But he's about to peek out into an AWP, and he does win that duel. That is huge. If he can secure that AWP, that will be fantastic. But he is starting to feel a bit of pain here from Pride, and they will basically wrap in from useless, or dumpster, however you want to call it, and secure the round. Yet again, Exus being killed there. Only one that time, so he does have to spend that money yet again. fact, it seems like he might have actually gotten the drop there from a teammate, which, you know, good for him. Actually, no, they picked it up from last round, sorry. So, GODSENT are actually looking to go for a double AWP setup here. And I think, really, they just want to be able to lock this down and rely on decent AWP kills. Brolin, bad time to pull out your knife, buddy. However, Freddy B is there to avenge his death. As for our two AWP players, they are pretty much looking to hold on to those two sides respectively. We have Doplin, Disco looking onto B main, and of course Twist looking across A main, and we'll have a good peek onto Squeaky should he need it. However, the bomb itself is moving into Sunroom here. The utility is being set up there to try and pry those counter-terrorist players out of their defensive positioning, which they will do. However, they will hear that smoke, and Dublin getting a little bit crispier than he might have wanted to. Luz able to take down Freddy in checkers. They've spotted the AWP now. Hampus coming back in behind, and GODSENT basically wrap around and completely annihilate that B approach. We do see another round for the counter-terrorists finally. That was a bit of a streak going for Pride. And going into this next round, the CTs will have a better buy. Of course, they've been able to maintain a bit of the weaponry they invested in last time. It's mostly an A approach for our terrorists. However, we do have Luz looking to make a little bit of noise on B main just to not completely give the game away. As for the CTs themselves, they are looking for more of a default approach there. They will have one player in vent again. They will have Hampus up on catwalk on A. And with this much utility going in, he is primed to basically spray down and take them all out. And we are left with basically Gab, well, now down to Luz here, who is on B. He's not really going to be able to do much. He's already quite weak as well. It is a 2 versus 1 though, so with the right timing and the right peaks, he might be able to get this. 2 AWPs on the counter-terrorist side are basically looking to secure this. They know that he should be low on health. He is slowly peeking out here. 50 seconds, he's got plenty of time basically just to work around and see if he can't score himself a kill. This angle is going to be, watch though, Luz pre-firing as he goes around the corner though will secure 1 kill. I don't think he quite knows where Disco is though, so this becomes a little bit more difficult, and Disco will basically manage to secure that round for GODSENT. So they have avoided a reset, however it has been rather costly for them as they only had 1 player left alive. Going into the next round, the Polish team doesn't quite have a reason to chill out just yet. They've got a lot of money and they will be using it on 5 AKs and a lot of utility. Counter-terrorist team still not on a full buy. They've had to make concessions. And it's exactly these concessions which might result in a round for the terrorists. A bit of back and forth exchange going on B side as well. Luz able to secure 1 kill there. Not wanting to push his luck. He will hold back though. Exus staying in Squeaky. Not entirely certain what he wants to do yet. I think he just wants to maintain presence here, but with that bomb moving up through A main, it might be go time. And it is exactly that. Forklift has been mollied out. So has MBK there. Bomb has been spotted, so that should be the rotate in now. Hampus doing a lot of damage to these approaching Ts. Exus, though, will finally shut him up. It's now down to Disco. An excellent flick. He does score some damage, though, but he does run into a firing squad courtesy of Exus and, of course, Luz. And with that, we actually see a bit of a reset for our counter-terrorist friends here. Not a single player really has above $3,000. That will result in 3 CZs, 2 Deagles, and Kevlar, with a little bit of utility, just flashes into smoke. As for the terrorists, they are pretty much expecting some kind of eco rush here. Exus will get a kill in A main. Luz holding quite a fair bit back here. So I think they really just want to wait for the counter-terrorists to actually make a move. whittle down their numbers, ensure their chances even further. As for the counter-terrorists, we do have Twist sitting up behind quad there. He's got a flash. He's basically waiting for some kind of aggressive rush out into sight there with that flash, hoping to basically, well, get something. Doppler moves just out of view. They are looking for a bit more of a conservative approach there. Oh, Freddy, you've got an excellent angle there. Freddy, what are you doing? No, stop it. Okay, so that is terrible. If you're Pride, you did not want that to happen at all. Tom has to have an answer for this. He has to at least get one kill back. He knows that he's still peeking there. Luz going down a B site, and this is a bit of an uphill battle. The only real silver lining there is that Tom has, full armor. He's got a bit of utility though. He only has 15 seconds though. This is not looking very likely. Twist in an excellent position to catch him out. Will he peek it though? He thinks about it, but he does not have the time to put the care into that peek. And Freddy B had an pushed up at just the right time. That is excellent if you're GODSENT. Very frustrating if you're Pride. Moving into this next round though, with weapons brought in from the last round. Oh, we're seeing a terrorist rush onto B main, and it is getting a little bit grim. Tom looking straight into that flash. He does get Twist, but he actually does a bit of team damage as well. Sploak, it is up to you, buddy. 2 versus 1. He don't think he knows that Freddy B has come around into the back of T. Disco must have called this, and he's going to get caught out. Although the angle just barely saves him there. There is a bit of obstruction of view, and Disco's not able to take him out. Splork, though, he's going to be planning for A main, and whether that is his post-plant position or not, and it seems like he is, he's edging towards it. I don't think he's going to expect these two counter-terrorist players to be from there. That said, he's in a good position. Will they anticipate him being there? Counter-terrorists themselves are basically looking to secure that bomb site. Disco, looking at the right place at the right time, does take out Splork. And we will see a bit of a reverse reset there for the terrorist players. We are 6-all here, so these two teams are keeping this very competitive. The only saving grace for the terrorist side at this moment is that the money needed to get a full buy, or even a decent buy, is much less. So at this stage, I think they're just going to bide their time here, get some pistols there. Gab really only just going for a smoke. And if this rush is anything, or this positioning is anything to go by, they're basically looking to put it all on A. Slight gap in that smoke there. Freddy B doesn't see him through it though. But with 3 counter-terrorists in close vicinity, Twist is moving away, but with 2 counter-terrorists remaining on this site, this could be quite deadly for the terrorist players. Utilities coming in. They will know that as they're on an eco, it's likely to be this. Hampus in that same position again, does get flashed out. Doesn't matter though, he is able to score some kills. Splork though, last one there with only, I believe it was just a Glock. It's not going to be able to do too much. At that stage there, they're really only able to score 1 kill with a lot of ferocity thrown at that A site. That's not going to be the best result for them. It was a bit of a throwaway round anyway. As you can see, they had enough money to buy this round, so I think they weren't quite set on winning that one. Twist close up here, below boost. Will be quite deadly if they decide to go that route. Gab in A main. Hampus has pushed up through that smoke there. I don't think he fancies his chances though, because he has moved out. He did score a little bit of pain for his efforts though. I don't know if he got too much for it. Focusing their attentions back towards mid there, we will see a boost play. Twist in an excellent position to do something about this, as long as they don't anticipate it. Not too much terrorist presence on mid. They might anticipate that he's going to be there. Twist will score 1 kill though. Brolin in vents will be able to get the excellent crossfire setup. Freddy B does go down as he tries to help as well. So does Brolin in vent. And Twist is pretty much the one here to stop this approach. He does get 1 kill, and it is down to Luz, last player in mid. Bomb's in the worst position possible for this. They can basically just sit there and bide their time and wait for him. He has been mollied out. Decides to basically walk past that cab. And I think they have pretty much just decided to spray through that wall to get him. That is what has happened. Terrorists having to go for a lesser buy this round, throwing a lot of money into it. They will get a few automatic weapons there in the form of CZs and a MAC-10. And in the case of Excess, he will be going for a Desert Eagle. With all efforts being placed on this B site, it's basically going to be up to the counter-terrorists to throw utility there and stop them. They have done a fair bit of damage just through those grenades and spraying through that smoke. Brolin does go down. Splork moving on the site there. Doplin does have an answer for this push onto the site. Exus, in turn, will be able to take him out. Twist, not entirely certain what's going on in this tree room here. And it is pretty much up to Splork to do something here. Last round of the half. He's not keeping his eyes behind him. And Twist will basically move in and get the kill and secure this half, 9-6. Whilst it was pretty competitive at the start of that half there, it did work its way towards GODSENT's favor, as you can see here. With the exception of Brolin, we are seeing a pretty consistent result, or at least comparative result, between the rest of GODSENT. We will be moving into the second half here. Pride having a chance to show us exactly what their defensive capabilities are like, and on the other hand, GODSENT able to show us what their T side is like as well. We have 4 terrorists moving towards B main there. Tom, excellent lining up there, will get the kill. However, Twist and Hampus will say no to that and open up the B site there, and they will get a plant. Regardless what happens from now, even if they lose these rounds, they have a few to throw away. Not that they really need to. As Hampus and Freddy will basically turn this onto a 1 versus 4. Gab, with close to no investment other than that defuse kit, will basically have to go and try this out. He's having a solid go of it though. 2 headshots make this at least a little bit competitive. And Twist and Disco, though, with their positioning, are able to basically both peek him at the same time and wrap that one up. Counter-terrorists with weak money will have to basically rely on CZs and dirty angles. Anticipating an eco rush, Freddy B is hanging back on just outside of B main on the terrorist side. These counter-terrorists, though, both with CZs, well actually sorry, CZ and UMP, waiting for something to happen here. Gab decides he will peek it and he will get a kill. There will be a return there from Disco in Squeaky. They of course know Disco is in Squeaky. Gab looking to purchase some real estate in A main, and is doing that quite nicely. If he does get an eye on the bomb though, he might be able to inform some decisions going forward here. The remaining terrorists though have decided that they want to peek out onto B. One of them will go down as a result of that. And it is basically a 2 versus 3 here. Bomb has been retrieved and they will be making a go of it on B. Splork hanging out in headshot, does in turn get headshot himself. Luz at this stage, what is he going to do? Does he want to do a 1 versus 3 retake onto B, or does he want to take this into the next round? Counter-terrorist economy isn't actually super great here, so to be honest, he might have done better just to go for the conservative approach and get that rifle into the hands of a teammate, or hang on to it himself and perhaps with some good positioning make a good play going into this round. At this stage, there's not really much he could have done to the terrorist side. As you can see, Twist is basically in a fine position anyways, even with that Mach 10. And we have a full save here from the counter-terrorists. And because of that, they want to go for a full stack onto the B site. Lots of information being gathered by Hampus here, as he's basically just going for a nice casual jog through Z. And as he is now in heaven, he is basically raining down hell onto B platform. One player left, Luz, they know where he is. It's just a matter of time, and that is it. With that full save, though, it will have to be worth it, and by the looks of it, for the most part, it is. We are seeing some good weapons on the counter-terrorist side here, with a bit of utility to back it up as well. Exus, though, has gone for a bit of a glass cannon approach. Orp, no armor, and the bomb has been left at T-spawn. I guess when you're having this much fun, who needs to plant a bomb? Counter-terrorist going for a more default sort of spread across the 3 different sites there. 3 different sites, sorry, 2 sides and mid. Twist placing a little bit of pressure onto A main. Not going to do much. Freddy B is in checkers. It's a bit of a spray through. But Luz will not be able to score anything as a result of it. Tom has been hurt a fair bit. And that molly is going to get him. Very lucky. That could have burnt him alive, and it didn't. Hampus, though, with a USB. I think they're just trying to have a bit of fun now. The USB out is basically looking to get a kill. I don't think he's going to get too much from checkers, except maybe another gun. Exus does take down his teammate Brolin, though. Oh, that is smart. Throw it up there so they can't get it themselves. Hampus does score a kill onto A side there. And B is practically empty. I mean, Tom with a little bit of health there is basically looking to sort of keep position there so he can inform some decisions. Disco, though, is basically ready to wrap around. Will not get Exus, who has been holding on to A main pretty handsomely. Now, 2 remaining terrorist players have sort of focused on mid, and it's a rush straight into B. Tom, low health, wasn't going to be able to do much anyway. That was a headshot, so he's dead either way. With an approach onto heaven there, Luz will go down, and it is pretty much down to Exus to try and do something here. That flick onto Hampus is an excellent start, though. But Twist will not stand for that, and he will be dead. Exus, that is, not Twist. And it is now 13-6. Pride, this is getting away from them. GODSENT with a pretty happy T side here. Their money's pretty much at a state where they're going to have options for at least the next 2 rounds. Counter-terrorists, though, they need to build up something here economy-wise. Gab sitting just below boost. Just hoping for something. That grenade, though, wasn't quite it. That is going to hurt him quite a bit, and they will actually boost up here. Freddy does get a kill into checkers there, and he will be peeking out onto B site. Hampus also looking for Tom. And that is it. Whether they know it or not, they pretty much have a B site secured. This rotate, though, from the remaining 3 CTs could prove crucial here. Gab able to secure a kill here. He will get a rifle. And he does basically have Freddy to contend with. Low health. I don't think he's going to be in too much of a position to fight here. Freddy, through the fire and flames, decides that Gab must go. And he has gone. GODSENT, 1 match, well, basically 1 round of match points. And we do finally have a pause here. I'm just going to quickly check. Okay, I got nothing on the text here. So, we'd assume that this would be a tactical pause. We certainly need Pride to sort of take a moment to think about what they're doing here. Especially with this money. This is basically their last real chance to stay in the game. As for the terrorist side, we have seen that they're just having a bit of fun here, and with a lot of money, it's gonna take a bit to break them. Not sure if Pride has that. We'll be unpaused, of course, and going into this pretty decisive round, which decides whether they basically keep on playing on Cache or move on to the next map. Hampus will get hurt a fair bit. He is looking to get a little bit aggressive onto that site there. Exos aggressive himself in Squeaky will go down to Disco. Hampus able to get a kill. Gab also able to get a kill. And we're down to a 3 versus 4 situation. That favors the terrorists heavily. Even on equal numbers, the terrorists always have their choice of which site they want to go for. Gab getting a lot of information here. He knows that they're not setting up outside there. Freddy B will take out Splork, and they have control of the B side. There's a 2 versus 4, 1 versus 4 retake situation for Gab. And does he want to basically sacrifice match point here and go for pretty much overtime? That's really all they can really hope for. And even then, with the weak buy they're going to have next round, not looking too likely. Gab isn't even going to be able to save that AWP going into the next round, so it's pretty bleak, to be perfectly frank. SMGs and a FAMAS of the order there of the day for Pride, as they look to just barely cling on to this game. As they've not been able to do so with a full buy, it's going to be a bit interesting to see what they want to do here. Roland does move out, he's able to get 1 kill. Surprisingly still alive after, well, not still alive, but he did stay alive for pretty long after that. Disco does take out Luz there, and we are actually seeing a bit of an approach here onto B main. Tom able to score at least 1 kill. Splork also there. He will be mollied out, but with the smoke cover, he might just be able to survive. Disco, having moved up and getting excellent information here, he is basically ready to tear the CT side to shreds. I don't think they're going to expect him here whatsoever. And Splork will die as a result of that. Tom able to get 1 kill, but not followed up with everything else he needed. And Exus, this is on you, buddy. 1 versus 2, it is doable. But showing, well, having seen the form that we've seen out of GODSENT this game, I gotta say, it's not looking too good for him. Freddy in an excellent position in checkers there. Will finish this off, and it is 16-6. GODSENT wins the game. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in the next map.